This is Calabucas with Think Future. Now, one of the keys to success, as far as I can tell, is that there's a combination of a lot of things that have to come together. It's got to be luck, it's got to be hard work, etc., etc., etc. But one of the things that you absolutely must do is you must be able to cultivate pleasure in pain. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Calabucas, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Well, it's like this. So I think I told you about the 10,000 rule a few episodes back, and how in certain fields, 10,000 hour rule means if you work on something for 10,000 hours, then you become sort of genius level talent at that. You don't necessarily need to have the innate talent, but you'll eventually get to the point where you can be very, very talented. And in these fields where this amount of effort is required, and I would say that, it's not just any field. It's just not just those specific fields, but there's a lot of fields where effort is required. I mean, there are very few situations where people all of a sudden just get lucky, right? Just get lucky, and it's just pure dumb luck. They just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and they had no skill, no work. They didn't try anything at all to get into that position, and then suddenly they're in that position, and it's like, woohoo, isn't that great? I think everyone needs to work towards their goals. They have to work towards their goals. And the problem with working towards your goals is that working towards your goals is not going to be fun and games 100% of the time. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. In fact, if you think about it, life is more drudgery. It's like 98% drudgery with 2% of amazing things happening in between. And we live for those 2% of amazing things happening in between. So in that time of 98% drudgery, how are you going to feel going through that 98% drudgery? When you're a startup founder and you're cranking and grinding and trying to get new customers, and you're building your product and you're coding and whatever you're doing to get to the point where you can actually sell this thing, you're going to be going through a lot of drudgery, pain and suffering, and it's awful. It's awful, awful, awful. You're going to want to give up. You're going to want to say, I don't want to do this. I'm tired. I'm banging my head against the wall. I'm never going to get to the end of this. It'll never be successful, blah, 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 blah. So how do you get through to the other side? How do you get to the point where you're going to be able to complete what you want to do and get it out there and let people use it? I'll tell you how you're going to do it. You're going to cultivate pleasure in pain. So all of this painful stuff that's coming up that you're working through right now to try and get your startup out the door, to try and code it, to try and sell it, wherever you are in the cycle of your startup, wherever you are, you've gone through some pain, and there's pain ahead of you. And you can have two attitudes towards it. You can go, oh my God, I can't believe I have to go through all this pain to get my startup out there. I can't believe I have to go through all this pain to get my product out the door. I can't believe I have to go through all this suffering to try and change the culture of innovation within my organization. I can't believe I have to do this. Oh my God, it's so painful. I just want to give up. I want to go somewhere else. So what you have to do is look at that as a challenge, not as pain. You have to cultivate the running into a burning building side of yourself. I mean, think about it this way. Firefighters run into burning buildings. They run towards the pain. I mean, you hear about sort of natural disasters going on, and you hear about people in criminal situations. You've got first responders that they don't run away from the scene. They run towards the scene. And sure, they might be feeling fear, but they run towards the scene and they want to help. That's part of their mandate. It's ingrained in their core. That's not something that's natural to human beings. Human beings want to run away from things like that. They want to run away from pain. But the fact that you see first responders, the fact that you see players and individuals just working hard through pain until they get to their end goal. They can go through so much suffering until they get to the end goal. You can see that human beings are able to take something that's painful and turn it around into something that's pleasurable. Throw it at me, damn it. Throw that damn thing at me. I don't care if it hurts. I'm going to bust through the pain. I'm going to embrace the pain. I'm not going to run away from it. I'm going to embrace the pain because I know I can get through that pain to the other side of that pain. And once I consider it as a challenge, instead of a wall that I can't break through, but consider it as a wall I can break through as long as I'm strong enough, then you have a completely different attitude towards the pain. Cultivate the pleasure in the pain. Not just getting through it. I'm just going to get through this. I'm going to enjoy getting through this. Because at the end of it all, I will have defeated this monster that I'm trying to get past. Think about where you're going to be after you've gone through the suffering. Focus your mind on the other side of the suffering. And then see if you can cultivate pleasure in going through the pain to the other side.